I'm Martha Rhodes, and I'm a wife, a mother, an author, and I've battled depression for over 30 years until I discovered NeuroStar TMS therapy, which has saved my life. I have struggled with depression since I was a teenager, but was not officially diagnosed until I was in my late 30s, early 40s, when I was prescribed a medication that worked. However, the side effects were intolerable. I was numb, I gained weight, I felt disconnected from myself and from my family, from my world. I took myself off that medication thinking that I could live without it, and that was not the case. I then went on another medication that again worked for a while, but then didn't. At that point, my sister found an ad for NeuroStar TMS therapy, and I tried it. Because I'd had so many failed medications, I was coming from a place of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. I call it the FUD factor. I understood that there would be a commitment to doing TMS therapy for 5 days a week for 4 to 6 weeks, and I had to trust that this was going to work. In the meantime, I decided in order to make that work for me, I had to make it my part-time job, and my part-time job became my full-time commitment. My first day of TMS, my coordinator explained to me that it was not a quick fix, but that I would be very comfortable, and she was right. I sat in a very, very comfortable spa chair. They put a coil against my head that was a very intense tapping that at first I was sensitive to, but I got used to it. I watched the Travel Channel. She asked me, do you want to watch the TV or have music? And I chose Show Me Grease on the Travel Channel. Then I was in and out in 45 minutes and drove myself to and from. I had no side effects. I was not sleepy. I didn't have an upset stomach. I actually had energy after a few treatments. After the first week or so of TMS, driving back and forth, I got into the routine, and then the routine became almost a little boring, and at one point I had what I call the dip. The dip made me feel like maybe this isn't working because I started to feel a little worse. I then remembered my mother's famous words, "A watched pot never boils," and I realized, you know, I have to be patient. I was told this is not a quick fix. At that point, I said to myself, Martha, this is a marathon. This is not a sprint, and I kept on going. After about 3 weeks of daily TMS therapy, I woke up on a Saturday morning and I opened my eyes and I said, something's missing. And I couldn't put my finger on it until I realized that the dread that I woke up with every day had gone away. I call it emotional nausea, and all of a sudden that emotional nausea was gone. And the light in the room looked different, and the air in the room felt different. And all of a sudden, when I got out of bed, I felt lighter. I call it the lift. I felt just lifted out of that heavy, dark, hopeless feeling. Right after that, my family started to notice that I was different, and in terms of, you know, just wanting to talk to them, answering their telephone calls. Today I feel clear, I feel centered, I feel light, and I feel happy. And I can say that I feel like a new Martha, but I feel like a better Martha. Not just a new Martha, but a better Martha. I hope that others understand that they have a very serious, chronic illness, and that it is a physical illness that needs to be addressed with their doctor. That they have options if their medications aren't working, With NeuroStar TMS therapy, it is safe, it's uncomplicated, it's non-invasive, and for me there were no side effects, and it worked.